How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Redemus Maximus, and I've got an amazing video for YouTube today. Now, what makes it so awesome? Well, I'm about to tell you. I got a Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Yes, I'm so excited. What makes this even more awesome is I'm going to unbox it just for you guys. So before I actually get into the unboxing, I have to say a huge big thank you up to my great-grandparents. They're the ones that actually got me into gaming, and it was thanks to this system, the original Super Nintendo. My very first game that I ever played was Paperboy, and my god, that was awesome. Now, it's not on this, but there are 21 different already loaded games. We'll get into those just a second. Let's get this baby opened. Okay, so right off the bat, let's talk about the packaging. So we're talking probably around like 7 to 8 inches across. It's not a very big box, but there's a lot of art. And that's what I love about these kind of different retro, collectibles. So you get to check out the different games, like classic Nintendo logos and classic edition. As you can see, what's going to be included in the box is we are talking 2 controllers right off the bat. So that is multiplayer for you and your friends. Now we're looking at the back of the box. It's got a complete list of all 21 different games that are included in the system. It's old school, so it gives you a picture of all the different titles that actually come on there, and it shows you on the bottom here what it looks like in the actual games. Now, that was one thing that I absolutely loved about getting a new console back in the day. It showed you the different games that they actually work with it, and it was fun just to see all this different stuff that makes it awesome. Alright, we talked about the actual packaging and everything else. Let's get into it. That's the fun part, right? Now that we got everything out of the box, let's go through each item. So, first thing that we open up, we are looking at a Nintendo user's manual and warranty included. So it's pretty standard, talking about the different warranties and things included with the actual system itself. Checking out how to actually hook it up and everything. It's the startup instructions, which is very useful. What's also awesome about this is in the back part of the manual, we're talking about a old school Super Nintendo, now you're playing with Super Power poster that shows off some of the other games that are included. Next up in the box, we're looking at the actual charger, the AC adapter for the Super Nintendo. Pretty standard 2.0 USB plug-in with Nintendo branding. And now we take a look at the controllers. Oh, these are absolutely gorgeous. So by typical standard, on the original Super Nintendo controller, it was an old school glossy finish, but this actually kind of has somewhat of like a sandpapery feel to it. It still feels like a Super Nintendo controller. Looking on the actual cables for the controller, this looks like a one of the Nintendo Wii looking classic controllers, which also is another thing that I will talk about at the end of this video. As we know, it comes with 2 of these. Right out the gate, invite your friends out, time to have some actual fun. Next we have some typical standard USB charging, which is going to connect to the AC adapter. And of course, this is a big deal. It is HDMI ready. So, for everybody that is on Twitch and or YouTube, get ready to have some streaming fun. And of course, last but not least, the actual system. Oh my god, it's so tiny. Holy shit. Okay. This is tiny. It fits literally in your hand as advertised, which is really cool. I do enjoy that. That's really neat. So, as you can see in the top here, this looks like the old school cartridge insertion, but it's not. It's all hard plastic right there. This is actually all Nintendo plug-in marketing and everything else. You have the old school reset button, the power button, the old school eject button for the cartridges. Now, there were two things that a lot of people were actually kind of turned off by this. So you have the ability to plug in two of the controllers, which you do by opening this. And that's actually where the controllers will plug into. Via the back of the controller. Just like that. And there's a nice clip, so it pops right out. And if you want to store it away, push that back in. Overall, very sleek and shiny. On the back port, you can see where the actual plugins for the AC adapter go right here, and the HDMI cord out goes here. It's got a pretty standard cooling fan in the back part, which I can't imagine this takes too much to actually run. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is everything that comes in the box. Just to do a complete recap here, we have our AC adapter, USB 2.0 cords. We have two Super Nintendo controllers. It's got kind of that nice grippy, sandpapery feel versus the old school gloss. We have the actual Super Nintendo system itself. Literally my hand is as big as it, and with HDMI cords in the back. So we're looking at a grand total of $79.99 for this. Now you might be thinking that this is kind of a heavy point as far as price goes, but for how many actual games that they give you, we're looking at 21 different games and game that has not been released. So Star Fox 2, that was one that was supposed to come out back in the 90s, and they scrapped it because they thought it was going to be too old school. But it's got a interesting newish school feel to it with the old school HD graphics and everything else. So this is going to be something that you're going to want to play and actually, you know, feel the nostalgia, play with your grandparents, play with your dad, play with anybody that basically got you into the Super Nintendo or Nintendo in general. And this is going to be definitely one I look forward to shooting some actual videos with. I'm going to have a different video probably of some of the different like HD quality and things like that in the future here. But I just wanted to do a quick unboxing because it's late at night and this is the time frame that I have to do fun things. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's my latest unboxing, and I was super excited to actually do this because a lot of people that know me, I'm not a huge Nintendo fan at all, but I do love nostalgic Super Nintendo. In case you actually didn't know some of the games that it does come with Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy III, Mega Man X, Super Mario World, F-Zero, Punch-Out, and Super Street Fighter II. Those are just some of the games that are actually on there. Like I said, there's a total of 21, including Star Fox 2, which is an unreleased game. I know a lot of people were super excited for that one. Overall, there's probably only about like 2 different cons that I actually have about the system itself. So as I showed before, the top of the system does not actually use the old school Super Nintendo cartridges. It's just for show. It's got just the loaded games on there. Thankfully, there's enough of those games on there that everybody can actually go back and play if you played them way back in the day or get into them now. There's a few different abilities that you can actually do with the actual Super Nintendo itself, like being able to save a point in each and every game. You get 4 different slots that actually save different points. And if you do something awesome or you do something you really didn't want to do in the game, you do have a rewind button up to about a minute. But going back to the whole point of actually having saved different points. So if you get to a point in the game where you want to go back or you want to start off where you were, you do have to hit the reset button in order to go back all the way through the different games. But to that effect, the plug-in on the actual Super Nintendo controller is the exact same as the Wii Classic controller. So you can use that as a plug-in and be able to hit the home button in order to completely skip hitting the reset button. Some would call that kind of a cosmetic issue, but I don't really think it's actually that big of a deal. I have no problem getting off my butt and actually restarting a game. It's no big deal. We did it back in the day. Why not do it now? Overall, I absolutely love this purchase. I think $79.99 is definitely still steep as far as price for this unit, but I love everything about it. I love the nostalgia of it. I love the retro looks to it. The controllers feel good. The games look absolutely amazing. You have the ability to go between the HD and the old school blurry look. So overall, for Nintendo, I'm pleased. I am very, very pleased with this. And thankfully, Nintendo actually did something good for once, in my personal opinion. They were able to put out enough for people to actually come out and buy. So not only the scalpers were able to get this one, like the original Nintendo Entertainment System Retro. So if you're feeling nostalgic and you can actually find a store like GameStop, Walmart, Amazon.com, or ThinkGeek.com, you can potentially pick up one for yourself and not feel like you're just wasting your money or you're going to have to pay completely out the ass for scalper prices. I do recommend that if you're going to go ahead and get it, go ahead and get it, because it's going to be a nice investment in the future for you, and there's just a lot of good games on this system to actually go back and play. Retro is hip. Retro is cool right now. That is the thing everybody loves, is retro gaming, and this is definitely a very nice package for that topic. So that's going to wrap it up for me today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as hard as you can. Let me know what you think of the Super Nintendo Classic Edition in the comments down below, because I love reading what you guys have to actually say. If you don't already, make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/ReadamisMaximus, because now this weekend we have Gundam Versus. I am so excited for this game. I'm a huge Gundam fan. If you ever want to talk Gundam, make sure to drop that down in the comment below and we'll talk and have fun with that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing all kinds of different like player traits, mobile suit traits and things like that in those videos this weekend. Also playing it pretty hardcore because I don't have anything else going on except hanging out with you guys. So thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, and until next time, keep it maximum.